Welcome back, modifiers, to the not BMW 2002 Touring Restoration Project. This is not that. If you've seen the title, which you probably have, you know that we're picking up a Series 1 RX7. This is the pickup, episode 1 of the Series 1 RX7 build. Let's get to it. Check this out. Right, so not only have these guys, whoever put this together, put studs in the wrong holes.
And that's all that was holding the wheel on, was 2 bolts.
So you got these 2 studs here that look like wheel studs, and that was what was holding the wheel on. And you pull it off, and they've just thrown 2 studs. Oh my, it's not even in there. Just thrown 2 studs in these big holes here. That's just mental.
Oh, we'll have to take it off to get it out. Oh,
so not only that, you got that. So this is why you got to check your cars, peeps. Like just these random bolts holding the drive shaft in. Like I'm sure it'll hold it in, but like it's just terrible. And they got these like ducted cooler things on the back that he doesn't like.
No, they're awful.
So I guess they're not going back on. Oh, actually, it is homemade. This one, look. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Got the word fold written on it. So we'll get rid of those. Get all the right bolts. Not do that again. And yeah, the other side had all the right studs in there. And a couple of wrong bolts, but we're getting there. We're just changing the diff head because this thing's locked and we want to be able to move it around. So we're putting in a open diff on it, and yeah, so I'm just going to swap that out now. Most of the bolts are already out of the diff. Just going to whip that out. And also the brake lines are wrong. They were routed along here, and they sort of, you can see where it's rubbed on the on this mount here. And it's actually, look at that. That wouldn't have been long until that popped. So, a bit rough. So we're going to make sure.
As you drove, they would have worked loose all the time.
Yeah, it would have, I mean, that would have been dodgy as. So we're going to have to check everything. Everything!
Do you want to record then?
I am now.
I'm modifying. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Fuck that shit. Hey, by the way, guys, it's fucking, what's the time in the morning?
It's pretty early.
What is it? 4 o'clock?
3 o'clock, maybe.
Nah, it's 4 o'clock now. It's got to be at least 4:15 in the morning in New Zealand. We've been working since we got here at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
9:30ish,
Yeah, 9:30, 10 o'clock we turned up at the shop. So, fuck, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we've been going hard the whole time. So, and been drinking, going hard. And tomorrow will be a new day. So, if you guys are ready for a serious fucking DA-mish, and here I go. con your mind that it's going to be nice and easy, but really it's a mother.
Yeah, but really it turns into a complete mission, which is pretty standard.
Yeah.
It just means that we never learn.
I know what it is.
Never learn. Yeah. So that's it for tonight. We basically it's ready to roll. Just got to do a final DA around the car, mask it up, get this thing primered, so we can then. We've still got the doors and the guard and the bonnet to do. So get those done. Then yeah, once that's all primer, we can start looking at getting the paint on this thing. It'll be sick. So we're going to go back to the factory white. So it's like quite a creamy white. So it's not like a really bright white, like a high-ace van or something. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning when we get this thing ready for primer. Just getting the final mask in. Big enough in there for you?
Yeah.
Right, we're on to wax and grease removing. Basically, we're all masked up, ready to roll. We're just going to go around and make sure there's no grease and debris, nasty shit on the car, get that wiped off. Then we're shooting primer.
Carbon ones.
The one that's on the other mask, the other mask has, you can't smell a thing. I can smell fumes for these.
Yeah, you want activated charcoal.
What?
Activated charcoal.
You sound like a robot. At the building. It's good.
Oh! You can have that car at $6,000 if you want it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking cheap, dude.
Yeah.
I had to go home, have a change. The thing's primered though, and it looks pretty damn good. We're in a good spot with this thing. Big shout out to my brother for coming up for the whole week and just absolutely smashing this thing out from start to get go on all the body work. Thanks, bro. You did fucking amazing. We got a little bit more to go, as you know. So I'll no doubt see you again pretty soon so we can get this thing back on the road real quick. Let's go check it out. I'm absolutely stoked. It looks really good. I had doubts in the very beginning because of the amount of work it needed. Now, we didn't film everything, but we filmed basically the last steps of it because the car needed a lot of cleaning. It was dirty as, and it, you know, and basically we were now at a point where we can move forward and start getting this thing really ready for a nice top coat of paint. And we're going to go with the original Aurora. The original Aurora. I can't even say it. Original Aurora. Oh man. Original Aurora white. There we go. Something like that. Let's check this thing out and see what it looks like. Yeah, I think you're gonna like it. The difference it makes though, when it's got a nice uniform color, it really gives you perspective on the car and where you sit in terms of the panel work. Now there's no shadow coat or anything on here yet, but it will have one soon. However, it does highlight some issues, which is fantastic. That's the whole idea, is we want to be able to, you know, find all the problems now and fix those little things up, because the devil's in the details. Like the little things is what really makes paint job good. So all the prep work needs to be on point. But that's it with the primer on, and it just looks good. This thing is going to look sick in white. Just white with some tints, a little bit of maybe black trim, and some nice maybe polished wheels or something. Not quite sure what we're going to go with yet. But just clean. That's what we're going for. Nice clean car. And you know, something that's quite rare now. Like these are quite hard to find, especially in one piece. These are quite hard to find. So yeah, we're really going to enjoy getting out and actually driving this thing. So basically for me, I'm going to probably dust coat this. You know, chuck a dust coat on this over the weekend and flat back some of it and highlight some of the areas which do need work. I'm going to mark them up and then we'll deal with those at some point. But also got to go ahead and get this 12A running. We kind of had it idling ages ago. I'll put a video in here if I can find it. But we had it idling kind of when we pretty much first got the car way back. So yeah, going to have to pull the carbies off, rebuild the carbies without a carb rebuild kit first, because this may all be changing. I will go over that another time, but the intake setup may be changing to a turbo setup, so we have all the turbo gear to do that. So I just want to get the carbies clean and working, and once I've done that, I can put the carbies back on, jerry rig this thing up so we can start it, and then, you know, see if we can get it idling. If it's, you know, if it's got any issues, then it's best to pull it apart now and rebuild it now. There's not much to these things. I mean, they're tiny. I mean, there's my hand in comparison to the engine. You got, you know, your irons and the rotor housings. There's not a lot to it. You know, it's pretty basic. So, yeah, if it doesn't run, we'll pull it apart and we'll have to rebuild it. Simple as that. And the gearbox, again, don't know much about the gearbox, but it feels good. You know, you don't know these things until you start pulling them apart. So, do need a new oil cooler though. That thing's pretty beaten up. I think it holds oil, but it just doesn't look that good. Like it's manky, like all the aluminium's all oxidized and falling apart. So I'll see if I can find a new one of those. Otherwise, that's all good. Ordered all the bits and pieces. Like, got a new water pump, belts, all that kind of stuff for that. Spark plugs, ignition, the whole lot. And also got like all the little bits and pieces to finish this. Well, as much as I could find, like door seals, you know, lower ball joints, all the bushes, new brake hoses, rotors, pads, you name it. It's on its way, and we'll make this thing an absolute gem of a 7. You know, so it's I think most of these are you probably call them a Rust RX7 by now. That's what the R stands for, but this thing is going to look sick. Just take that in. I mean, yeah, that's going to look baller. Anyway, so we've still got the bonnet to do, the doors, and the we've still got the bonnet and the doors to do, and the front fascia bit that goes here, and the bumper. You know, that's all going to be DA'd and primed. So that's the whole thing in itself. You know, it takes a lot of effort. If you want it right, it definitely takes effort. This is actually, in considering, you know, this is for the panel work, like the body work, That's 7 days, I think 8 days. Andrew is here working on this, so a lot of work goes into it. And then with the Beamer, that's going to be even more intense, whereas that's going to have a, the engine bay is going to be completely smoothed out, well, as much as I can, smoothed out and de-loomed and stuff like that, so it looks real tidy. But that's going to have even more work in that, which I'm a little bit worried about. I'm scared. It's a huge amount of work. It's been a while since I actually panelled a car or been involved in the process. Like, it's been a couple of years at least since I've gone from base to primer. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's well worth it at the end of it, but it is a lot of work. And when you realize that, and then also realize the end result, keep the end result in your mind, you go, yeah, it's worth it. For this sort of car, it is. Otherwise, guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey, and smash that like button. If you want to see more from us, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, bro.